Hi there, fellow greasy people. I'm Chuck. This is Up Chuck Chops. Thanks for joining me. I have other footage. I don't know where this is all going to land. But I made headway and figured something out last night with a bunch of reading. I made a short about it. These barrels, this cam chain guide here, in order to get it out and in, you pull up, slide the pin out, push down, twist, pull out. So that's good. And on one end there's a little piece of plastic, a little bump out, and I realized there's a little, for lack of a better word, a chamfer that rides against. So I've fretted over this for quite some time because I didn't know how to get this back in, and we're there. So I think it's time to start engine assembly, working my way up. I'm sure mistakes will be made, but I'm going to take my time. We're going to try real hard, because once the engine is assembled, then it's time to see if it goes once I get it mounted up in a frame and all that good jazz. So I think I'm going to start by checking my piston end gap clearance and reviewing how they need to sit on the piston. And I only know to do that because I watch Garage to Trail, and he's pretty good at what he does, dirt bikes and stuff, and he does that. So I think we'll start there and very slowly work our way up. I'll try not to make this boring. I also bought some of this stuff and some of this stuff because I saw Gearhead Geeks use it, and he's pretty good at what he does. So at some point I'll be going back and reviewing his video and seeing where he used that stuff, because evidently these are known for oil leaks. I don't want oil leaks. If it happens, it happens. Remember, kids, if it leaks oil, it has oil. Off we go. Okay, the piston ring gap is supposed to be 0.2 to 0.4 millimeters. I don't know if the camera will pick up. Well, I'll be dogged. That almost slid right in. I thought that was a little tight, but it appears not. I did square it with the piston upside down in here, so that's right there. The rings I bought from wherever I bought them from appear to be correctly gapped. I'm going to check the other one. That looks like a bit more. There's 0.3. Yeah, right on. Just a little drag on it. All right, I made a little progress. I had to interrupt my Jethro Tull New Riders of the Purple Sage jam out work session to bring you guys in on this. So the aftermarket rings I purchased, the bottom ring, the oiler ring, oil scraper, whatever you want to call it, is a 3-piece unit. So I tried a couple of different ways. I didn't think it was going to fit, so I started soaking down old piston rings, hoping to get their oil rings off. Anyhow, the trick I found was I put the zigzaggy part in first, slid a ring down and worked it underneath, and then slid the top ring. I think I'm a bigger fan of a 1-piece unit with the slots in it, but it's neither here nor there. The book says the bottom side of the oil ring needs to be 30 degrees off front and center. We'll call it 0. and then the other one needs to be 30 the other way, and then the next ring up from the bottom, the gap goes at the back of the piston, the front ring goes at the front. These are so nicely marked, the camera will never focus, but they're marked top. And the top ring is they look the same, I can't tell a difference, but what I think is the top ring is a little darker black material than this one. Now that I say that, I'm probably wrong. Looking at the profiles here, they look exactly the same. The book shows a little bit of a profile difference on them. The only thing I can guess is it's a different color and it shows up better. They're trying to tell you this one is the top of the top. I want to take one more look in the book and turn my music back on, and I'll bring you in when something cool happens. Upon further review, I looked at the old piston rings. It will be hard for you to see, but there is a slightly different color, as was the ring I thought was my top rings. So I have remedied the situation. I won't tell you how long I wrestled these rings on and off. It's a little embarrassing, but they're on. And on to the next step. So evidently, I didn't buy new wrist pins, which is probably fine, but they're not sliding out very easy. So I got them soaking in the old PB. I have a socket that's roughly the same size, and after they've soaked a hot minute, I want to give them a little love tap with where's the rubber one? With my rubber hammer. Well, dead blow hammer. I think I have a proper rubber hammer in there somewhere. I do. It's a little big. We're going to use this one. I did double check and make sure I had the clips out, because I've been known to forget those and then wonder why something didn't come out. So we're going to take a little break and pick this back up here in a minute. So hey, little news flash. I make mistakes. I in fact did not take the C-clips out, and turns out they slide a whole lot easier once well, they slide out easier once you have those C-clips off. So I think I'm ready to hang my pistons on the connecting rods and start putting this joker a little bit more back together. It's getting exciting. I'm to the part in the project where I have to try really, really hard not to get in a hurry because I want it done. Because I'm miles away from being done. But I'm getting closer to having the engine put together, and since I'm still new and learning at this, it is very, very exciting. So let's go to it. All right, so for the first time in many moons, the rags can come out of the bottom end. I guess they don't have to yet. They won't yet, because I have to put new C-clips in. We don't want those ending up down there. So the little arrow shows me forwards. Make sure my rings are in the right spot. You know what? I'm going to increase my chances of success by putting one C-clip in and then sliding the pin to it and then putting the other one. So I'll only be doing half as many C-clips over the holes. I don't know that this is necessary, but I'm gonna use it, because why not? I'm sure there'll be somebody out there to tell me why not, but it'll be all right. A little bit of lubrication will not be bad. Okay, there's that. Now I just have to do it again. All right, bub, cross your fingers for me out there. And that is why you put rags in the barrels, or not the barrels, the bottom end. I don't know how much you're going to be able to see of this, but okay, got that. Oh, it's close. And it's also close to flying across the room. All right. I want to make sure that's seated in there good. So I'm going to take the smallest pry bar I have, and I'm going to see if I can spin it. The pick may have been better, but okay, that feels good. There it goes. Okay, I'm in. Everything feels good. One more to go. It looks like it is very close. There it goes. I reckon if it slides around in that groove where it sits, that it must be seated fairly well if it's staying in and not jumping out. All right, pistons are hanging on. I reckon that's backwards. Ain't got no gears in it. That looks better. All right. My O-rings are in. I wonder if I should have that gasket with this copper stuff. Copper spray gasket. Let's do a little reading, see about it. So right or wrong, I decided if it was good enough for Gearhead Geeks, it was good enough for me. I read the spray can on the Permatex copper high temp sealant, and if I understand right, it's supposed to help with any little imperfections. My gasket hanging here is now copper. So it's copper. Supposed to let it dry before I put it on. It's dangling in the breeze on the old C-clamp. I decided it couldn't hurt that cheap thin paper gasket. Little bitty side note here. That stuff is stout. It offends the nose, so have some good ventilation. Take it outside, because I've made that mistake in here. Spray painting, didn't have enough ventilation, and the old nose hairs were yellow. Just a little warning. Now you're gonna get a up close of me fighting the barrels down over the rings. In the past, I have hand squeezed them on, but that was one cylinder. This may prove a little more difficult. I'm dogging her off for the night. It's getting late. I need to chill before beddy by time. I want a clear head and a fresh start. I've made some progress tonight. Pretty good for me. So I'm gonna listen to music for a minute Maybe watch a minute of Western, because as bad as I want to keep pushing, I feel good about where I am, and I don't want to have to undo something to redo something because I forgot something, that kind of thing. So I'll catch you probably tomorrow evening. What's up, friends? Back in the garage. Can you hear me now? There's a guy who made millions of dollars saying that. Anyhow, I thought today we would play a game of Watch Chuck Struggle. To the best of my knowledge, I'm ready to slide the jugs back on over my pistons. So we're gonna try that. We'll see how it goes. And then continue from there. Hopefully this is a interesting, good angle. You'll probably just see big blue blobs that are my fingers. I put a little assembly lube in the cylinders. I don't know if I'm supposed to, but that's what I did because I hate to think of the first few kicks on this thing just scraping. So, right or wrong, that's what I did. Now, I gotta slide this chain through and get everything lined up with one whole set of hands. Well, play nice. There we go. I need this zip tie to be up here. All right. Okay. The zip tie is there-ish. Come on, cooperate. There we go. I have rechecked, and I am rechecking again because that's the way she goes. Making sure my piston ring gaps, excuse me, are where they are supposed to be. I don't know how to do this one at a time. Maybe there's enough wiggle that I can squeeze a ring and then jump over here and squeeze a ring. I do not know. This is a lot easier with one cylinder. Do I already have one in there? Oh my goodness. Okay. Work this down to the next one. I am past ring number 2. I think. Almost. Well, my camera just went dark on the front screen, so there's been 5 minutes of struggle. Why does this rock? Oh, that could be why. Dope. My guide was hung up. Oh, that reminds me. This needs to go here, but it falls out really easily. Maybe I'm glad I struggled for a minute because I don't want this floating free in my engine. But the plunger, if you will, holds against that, and then it makes tension on the cam chain. I wonder if I can put this in later, is what I'm saying. I would just glue it in, but I'm afraid the heat would break the glue down, and then it wouldn't stay where it was supposed to anyhow. There's no way I'm getting my fingers through there to get it on. Maybe if I just temporarily super glue it. I do have gasket maker. I could put a little bitty drop on there and see what happens. I'm not saying this is the right thing to do. I'm saying it's what I'm gonna try. See? Just a little bit. And hopefully that will stick it well enough that it'll hold until I can get that plunger in there on it and make everything happy. All right, back to the task at hand. Oh, plop down in the chair of contemplation here and see what I got going on. I keep getting partially down on one side and partially down on the other. Like I said, I have successfully done this with a single cylinder vehicle. My next wonder, I'm probably going to get laughed at for this one, but I can always cut it out if it doesn't work. I've seen it alleged that one can use a hose clamp, and I'm certain that might work. I don't think I have a hose clamp this big. I'm not going back to the store tonight. So I'm going to see if I can thread this in here. It's a tie down strap. And see if I can pinch these tight enough with that force. Not the ratchet force, but the force of me squeezing on it. By golly, that might have worked. If it's stupid but it works, is it stupid? I am checking my gaps as we go. Did I get past the second one? I did. Hey, it worked. Now I just have to get past the oil ring, oil scraper ring, and not leave any strap in there. Did I just do something accidentally smart? Let's see. Did I? Okay. It appears all my rings are in there. Why won't you go to your home? If I back it up, I'm going to go too far all at once. Like, comment, subscribe. Put down below what you would be doing right now. Well, I can see these oil holes here, and I can almost not see them there. Yeah, last night, not in the connecting rods, of course, but I was able to kind of test fit. Come on. You need like a happy... Ah, my finger's stuck. Well, we're coming up on 10 minutes of me fighting this thing. Let's stop and think about it. I'll pick you up in a minute. So the dumbest thing just happened. I was sitting here pondering, and I did this. I did squirt just a little in the cylinders of PB. I changed brands. I didn't really change brands, but I had some. And I'm just easing this joker down with little tappy taps from the old meat hammers. And there we are. Hey, you can't see it, but my part stayed and it is right where I need it to be. Next step is slide the head on. That is starting to look like a motorcycle engine. Drop my front bolts in. Okay, those are finger tight. These front ones are just sitting in there. I am I'm happy with this progress. I am tickled. You'd think by looking at it I hadn't bothered cleaning anything, but you should have seen it before. Well, hey, if you watched this far, thanks so much for watching. I'm gonna dog it off here. It's starting to look like a motorcycle engine. That tickles me. That makes me very, very happy. I shouldn't gloat and be too excited yet because it's done nothing yet. But it's almost like this is what I have left to the left of me. Check it out. That's the bits and pieces I have to put in before I can mount it in a frame. Oh, I gotta close this video up. When I come back, next video, I'll have to tighten everything up, get the cam in, get the tensioner in, and the plunger and spring and all that. Yeah, cross your fingers for me, folks. I'm new at all this. That's why I'm stumbling through it, and I can only use that excuse for so long, but I got it for now. This has been a giant headache, a constant wear on my mind, but it's been a lot of fun too. I like tinkering. I like making videos. This has been a real ball. Despite the aggravations, I've had a lot of fun. It'll be even more better when this thing goes ba, 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 or whatever noise they make. I haven't heard a lot of them. Thanks for the comments and people looking out, and when something looks weird they say, hey, I just realized something does look weird. See this guy here? I forgot to put the head gasket in. I'm gonna lay it on my bench so I don't forget this time. Next time. I sure am glad that dawned on me before, you know, you guys said, hey, you forgot I beat you to it this time. That doesn't happen too often. But anyhow, I'm having a ball. I'm trying to coordinate a little trip, maybe camp out, hang out with another YouTuber. Pretty excited about that. Got to get some details ironed out and we're in the beginning stages of planning, but we want to take this little trip within a month, really, of real time. So hopefully I'll get this out to you on Tuesday. Is going to be a real push. Work tomorrow. I probably won't get it edited tomorrow night, so it might be next Saturday. So if you see me on Saturday, happy Saturday. Till next time, I will catch you later. Thanks again for watching. Comment something down below. One of you guys will probably write something down there, and that's okay, because I don't think the algorithm AI is smart enough to know you're cracking jokes. It might be, who knows.